Farming families have come from all over the world and set down roots in the San Joaquin Valley. They have all found a vast landscape that is at once bountiful and unforgiving. The key to unlocking that difference is water. As drought, climate change, and now groundwater restrictions crimp access to water, things are changing. What will that mean for the future of the valley? Can small farmers still make a living? We talk to family farmers who are determined to try.
The problem or dilemma of, do we continue farming, or is this something that we want to let go? And
they explain how they and their families came to the valley, what they've made here, what the future holds, and the role of water through it all.
so this farm has been with the family, I want to say, for the 1990s. It was incorporated, I think, 91, or a little bit right after I was born. It started off originally with my uncles and my dad. So this was just a family farm. It was a project to help a bunch of Hmong farmers to collect their produce and then help them sell it out. And then my dad ended up taking care of this business itself. Came across the problem or dilemma of, do we continue farming, or is this something that we want to let go? And I pursued to continue Cherta Farm because, one, the legacy that it meant to the family, and two, the work that I see my parents put into this, I kind of want to continue that with that work as well. Right now we have 80 acres, and we do a lot of Asian specialty crops. You can see over here to your jujubes, right? Our trees, and then over here we also have some plums that we also try to help with. This was during the end of the Vietnam War. A bunch of Hmong refugees started coming over. As a refugee, you don't know the language, you don't know how to work, don't have any source of income, and so that's what started all the small farmers. A lot of small Hmong farmers and Laotian farmers to actually grow stuff. My parents, when we came over here, when they moved over here, not me, it all just started as, hey, everybody needed to make money, earn money somehow, and we started farming. Then you have a lot of these small Asian farmers that we get into the predicament where we can grow it, but we can't sell it, right? There's no one to buy it. And so it started with my uncle, along with my family, my uncles and all the uncles and parents. That they're like, okay, we'll just do a collection, right? Get farmers, bring your stuff over here, collect all together, and then we'll help you sell it out. And this was when we still had a small 5-acre property, right? Everybody was farming only 5 acres. Everybody's just doing all things that they're used to back in Laos. And so when we did this, they finally had a way to sell. And eventually it just started from a small operation, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The operation originally started with a lot of vegetables or what we call leafy greens. That seems to be one of the main things that they grew back in Laos, and that's how we started, right? Wintertime, hey, grow leafy greens. You can grow, sugar pea tips. You can grow cabbages, napas, bok choys, and before a lot of, I guess a lot of community, even as well as the Caucasian community, they weren't used to eating a lot of Asian produce, and so this was a good introduction to what farming is within the Asian community or the Southeast Asian community. So now with the expansion of Cherta farms, we've moved away from vegetables to actual like bitter melons, bottle gourds. You have these fuzzy melons and ash gourds. And when it started as a small local community, now we've grown to, being statewide, SoCal to San Francisco to Seattle, and then also to Minnesota, Florida. We had a well that was pretty high up in elevation, and then that one went dry first. And then eventually we had a second well that was a little bit lower in elevation, also went dry. So I'm assuming both the well was drilled the same depth, right? But then it just eventually one, went out first, and then the second one. Water is definitely the number one challenge. I know that they've put up a lot of regulations with drawing up water in the ground, in the groundwater. I was telling my parents this too, that the time when land starts becoming cheap or inexpensive is when the groundwater runs dry. As a farmer, our concern is our well running dry. Me growing, row crops or specialty crops, the way how I kind of see it is that when we do, row irrigations, a lot of the water doesn't get used up by the plant, and it actually trickles back down to the aquifer. And so that's probably one of the things that's delaying my pump going dry, or me pulling up too much water from the aquifer. Water is one of the big problems, even for us. We're pulling it up fine, but eventually, like I said, it's just prolonging. When is it going to run out? My experience and why I picked up farming is because the things that I've seen my parents do, the growth that they've had, I want to keep it. I want to keep it going, and so to throw it all away would just, one, be a waste. And for me, like I said, I want to see it continue.